Hey guys, I'm the Bento Buster, a Kiwi in Japan. And this is the latest version of Santouka's Shio Tonkotsu Ramen, featuring their newly improved broth, produced by Nissin. And as you probably know, this is part of the 7-Eleven Premium Gold Instant Ramen series. That's a series of instant cup noodles made in collaboration with famous ramen shops. That's right, an instant version of the real ones you could get in the shops. And as I mentioned, this particular one is made in collaboration with Santouka, which hails from Asahikawa City, Hokkaido. And they are known for their silky smooth bone broth ramen. Yep, that's right folks, this is their Shio Tonkotsu Ramen. It's premium ramen with a light salt seasoned pork bone broth. And as you notice when you open it up, there are 4 packets staring at you. The orange sachet contains the dried toppings such as memba, which is fermented bamboo shoots, naruto, which is a fish cake thing, that's the white thing with the swirl, and I think maybe some mushrooms. The light blue sachet contains the char siu pork. In the green sachet, there's your powdered soup base. And the navy blue sachet, well, that contains the soup base paste. And from the looks of it, these are thin type noodles, and the color is, I'll tell you what, amazing. Very vivid. And with Santouka Ramen, you get this, a bonus umeboshi. Yay! That's right, an umeboshi, or preserved salted plum, is part of their trademark. And as you'll soon find out, it gives you something to crunch on while you're enjoying those soft, delicious, luxurious noodles. Because it's the hard, crunchy type of umeboshi, not the soft, squishy type. Now to get things started, the contents of the orange packet go in first, but I'm going to hold on to that umeboshi until the very end. And at this point, it's also the time to add that slice of char siu. Now granted, it doesn't look like much now, but soon it will be huge! And for the uninitiated, char siu is braised pork. But from face value, it does look like a decent sized piece of char siu, especially when it comes to instant ramen, because tell you what, the other brands are pretty stingy. And as you can see, while I was blabbing on, I filled the bowl up to the line with boiling hot water. Now the next step is to reset the lid and let it rest for 4 minutes. And don't forget to place the navy blue sachet, containing the soup paste, on top. And if you do have one of those fancy ramen stoppers, put that on top too, just to keep the lid down. Now I don't, but I have a David Beckham doll, and he's my ramen stopper. And what the heck is that? Well, that is nothing. Okay, you didn't see anything. That's just your mind playing tricks on you. And according to Hello Kitty, the 4 minutes are up, so it's time to wake Beckham up. Wakey wakey, David. Wakey wakey. Okay, so now it's time to check out the state of these noodles. Oh yes, just look at that. They look fantastic. And for me, this is the best part because at this point, they kind of look perfect. Everything there is very pretty, fully hydrated, and staring back at me in perfect harmony. But soon I'm going to have to add that soup broth and ruin their world. And when you think about it, isn't that a metaphor for life? Okay, slightly off track, so let's get back to the ramen. And now it's time to add the contents of the navy blue sachet, the soup paste. 4 minutes ago, the soup paste was very thick, but it's had time to warm up because it's been placed on top of the ramen, and now it's luscious. Yes, very luscious indeed. And finally, it's time to add the contents of that green sachet. This contains the powdered soup base and little green oniony bits. Okay, we're all set. So the next step is to give this a gentle mix so that we can incorporate the ingredients of the broth together. Now to be honest, this is the tricky stage for me because I want to mix that broth together well, but I also don't want to upset my noodles. I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a dilemma. Okay, so the broth has been incorporated. Now it's time to add that umeboshi plum. When it comes to premium ramen, every step has been thought out carefully to ensure that you, the consumer, have the perfect bowl of ramen every time. Now that said, tell me honestly, does this look like the perfect bowl of ramen? Well, I guess that's up to the eyes of the beholder. Yes, okay, it may look a bit messy, but tell you what, it is giving off an awesome aroma. And these noodles, they are quality. They have the right amount of pull and the right amount of bite, if you know what that means. And they're by no way crappy noodles that you find in your cheaper bowls or packets of instant ramen. Just had to get that off my chest, okay? And when it comes to premium ramen, it's all about the quality of the broth. Now look at that. That looks amazing. And what does it taste like? Well, it tastes like Tonkotsu heaven. Now remember, it is Shio Tonkotsu, and that slight salty flavor is really highlighting the Tonkotsu broth. And it also is a beautiful broth. It really has a nice milky kind of sheen to it. This isn't a thick Tonkotsu broth. This is refined and silky smooth. In fact, it's really luxurious. Ah yes, now take a look at these noodles. They have the right amount of bite and the broth coats them perfectly, giving you maximum flavor. And I think the technical word to describe these is yum-o. Okay, and now it's time to try out the char siu pork. It looks delicious, it's nicely rehydrated and glistening. And it looks very meaty indeed. Yep, I was right. Very meaty. It's both flavorful and meaty, and it gets the Bento Buster's thumbs up of approval. Yep, that's a decent sized piece of real pork. Nothing artificial here. Well, actually don't quote me on that, but hey, this is awesome chashu. Now remember, this is instant ramen. Top level stuff and some of the best instant ramen that you can get in the world today. In fact, after you've had something of this quality, you really are not looking forward to the normal instant ramen. Now you may be asking, how much does that cost? Well, I think it costs about 270 yen, which is about $2.50 US. And I tell you what, for $2.50, this is a deal. Oh, and by the way, that was a very crisp and crunchy umeboshi. Now to finish off, let's get a closer look at that broth again. Okay, to recap, this is an instant broth. It has a lovely aroma and the taste is mild yet complex. In no way is it like a cheap ramen that just bashes you in the head with one flavor. This is refined with incredibly subtle notes. This new and improved version of Santouka's Shio Tonkotsu Ramen is a winner. And it's great to see that the makers are always trying to improve their products so that it emulates the one sold in the shop. So Santouka, 7-Eleven and Nissin, hats off to you, man. As always, thanks for watching on the Bento Buster and stay strong. Kia kaha. And remember, there's always time to like, subscribe and share.